Hello, my name is Andrea Gorgerino. I'm in charge of the field application engineers at Efficient Power Conversion. And I wanted to show you our new cross-reference tool, which can be useful for designers struggling to find MOSFETs. So let's start with a part number. So let's say I'm looking at this Infineon MOSFET. This is a Optimus 5 100 volt 2 milliohm MOSFET. It is a quite high performance device, but let's see if it's how much it costs and if it's available on DigiKey. So we just type the part number there, and let's see what comes up. All right, so it's not in stock, of course, like many things lately, and it's pretty expensive. It's $4.67 500 pieces. So let's see if there's a gallium nitride alternative to this device. So let's copy the part number here and go on our EPC website and look at the cross-reference tool. There's two ways to get to the cross-reference tools. You can go in design support under GaN Power Bench, and there's all of our tools here, and you can file the cross-reference search. Or I like to go simply on products and cross-reference search. It's very simple, just type in the part number. And this is an interesting one because actually the exact one from DigiKey doesn't appear in the database. However, the one on the datasheet does. So it gives me a few suggestions. The first one is the one I want. So I'll just click on that. And I get this nice little comparison here. I'll walk you through on what you can find on this page. So you can find, first of all, these are basically the part that I was looking for. And then there are five here alternatives in gallium nitride. So this tool is interesting because it is based on power loss. It is not a purely parametric search tool. So the main parameter, you can see it down here. It's 31 watts. And 31 watts, it's in these particular conditions here. You can change the conditions later, but it gives us a good alternative. And you can see the interesting part is that all the device offered had actually lower losses versus 31, although they have higher RDS-ons. And that's because the switching losses of gallium nitride is so much lower. So this first table is a summary table. You can find also here the chart representation of this table. One interesting thing, as I mentioned already, are the losses right here. This is in percentage, where the device search is 100% always, and then the EPC devices are shown as a percentage of that. So again, always lower losses here. Another very interesting parameter to look is package area. You can see incredible difference here. You can't even barely see the chart down here. That's the package area. By the way, you can toggle the value in absolute numbers or back into percentages here. You can change the condition of this calculation. The default are calculated based on the part that was selected. So if you search for different parts, you'll get different default conditions. But let's leave it like this for now. This is 300 kilohertz. The second table is a detailed datasheet comparison. So this saves a lot of time to designers because it's quite tedious to go in all the datasheets and compare all the numbers. This covers all the main ones here. You can see the main parameters, including capacitance and thermal parameters, also the current ratings from the data sheets, which are always very tricky. They were always given in different conditions. Therefore, for those, I actually like the one calculated below here. So before we go there, there's also a table here with figures of merits. There's two of them given, an RDS-on times QG and RDS-on times COSS. The smaller number, the higher performance the device is, and this gives an idea of the technologies. And of course, gallium nitride offers a lot of advantage there. I was mentioning here the ID calculated. These are actually calculated in the same condition, and therefore they are also save a lot of time for designer when they want to compare parts. Although again, these are DC continuous only operation value. So in reality, not that useful. So let's go to the interesting part, which is the actual switching performance. So the first table actually is a switching time calculation. Again, it's the same conditions. And so that's also very useful for designers to start their design to compare transition times. So you can see the table right there. Of course, gallium nitride switch is much faster. And then you have the calculated power loss table. So this is a generic calculation for a hard switching application, but it has all the main buckets. It starts with the conduction losses and the switching losses here. These are the overlap losses, basically, and the sum of the two. But we also calculate reverse recovery losses, which, of course, for silicon MOSFET are usually significant. Hard to calculate. We calculate them based on datasheet parameters. Often in application, these might be much higher because in datasheet they're given in conditions which are usually lower dVdt and dIdt than the actual application. But that's what's available. At least it gives an idea. And of course, GaN doesn't have any reverse recovery losses. There's also output capacitor losses. And then you have the total here, as I was mentioning before. So, you know, you can look at a few things that are interesting. For example, for the silicon FET here at 300 kilohertz, there's a lot of switching losses, you know. And then if you start looking at the GaN devices, the numbers are much, much lower. There's also calculations of junction temperatures with a couple different thermal assumptions you can find here. And this is an interesting way to compare devices. This chart also represents the losses in a graphical way. It starts as a default with the actual value. You can show the percentages here. So it looks like we have some interesting alternatives. Let's go back to the top. Again, we can change the comparison, mainly the switching frequency or the current, if we need to, but for now we'll stick with this. So let's take a look at these devices that are available. So the first thing is we have a column here with the status. So we recommend using the preferred one. These are usually our latest generation devices, and they provide the best value to our customers. So there are two preferred devices here. Let's take a look at both. Basically, there's a bigger one here and a smaller one here. So let's look at the smaller one first to have an idea if it's how competitive it is. So just click on the 2204, comes right up, and we can just click the buy now. Let's see how much it costs and if it's available. So there's a bunch in stock, and oh wow, 500 pieces, $1.50. If I remember correctly, the alternative device was more than $5. So wow, that's much cheaper. So why don't we take a look at the higher performance device, the 2218. So let's click on that one. And this is the product page. Also here, you can find all the data sheet and all the information. Let's see if this one is available. And wow, also here about 50K in stock and the 500, $2.8. That's a lot less than the silicon alternative. And that was very quick to find a cross-reference and start the design. So for more information, go back to our website, epc.co.com, and you can find all the information on how to simplify your design and use GaN for your next project. Thank you.